Hey, how's it going? On this episode of Home Water Dispatch, I'm actually by some of my home waters here in Western Massachusetts and using it as an opportunity to think about the role of water temperature when we ponder anything about fish. Water temperature is considered the master factor when it comes to fish because they're ectotherms. So everything about their biology and ecology is driven by or influenced by water temperature. A very important thing to know as we think about fish, both as fish biologists, fish lovers, fish nerds, and as anglers. So when we think about water temperature though, we can't think about it in isolation from other environmental things or other things that are happening in like that stream right now or in the lake downstream that I'm gonna hike to shortly. Especially when it comes to fish, right? So fish are in their environment, in their streams, and they have to respire, right? So like I'm respiring now to bring in oxygen into my body to fuel biological functions. Fish need to do that too. But because they're ectotherms, their metabolism is influenced by water temperature. As water temperature goes up, their metabolism goes up. With that, if their metabolism goes up, they need to respire more. They need to bring in more oxygen to fuel the sort of metabolic demands of their body. Now, the rub here is that as water temperature increases, the amount of dissolved oxygen, all things considered, the amount of dissolved oxygen in that water goes down. And when I teach this stuff to my sophomore level fish conservation class, I think about like when we like put a pot of water on the stove, right? And we can look in that water, there's dissolved oxygen in there, but we can't see it. And then when you turn up the heat, the H and the O's get all excited. There's some physics there. And then things start to bubble and volatilize. The same thing's happening in the stream. As water temperature warms up, the capacity for that water to hold on to that dissolved oxygen goes down. So in a stream like this, there's some awesome little pools down here where I usually try to convince some brook trout or some rainbows to take my fly, but not today. There's some great pools down here, and as they're warming up, the fish love it down there. But as flow rates start to go down like they are now, even though we've been having some thunderstorms and stuff like that, overall the flow rates in this stream are kind of low right now. So we have lower flow rates, we've got pools that maybe are a little bit more stagnant, not a lot of water moving through, and we've got water that's warming up with maybe lower dissolved oxygen content in there. And at the same time, we've got the water temperature that is increasing, so the fish's metabolism is going up. And so they're working harder essentially to get that basic requirement for their biology, for their bodily functions, that oxygen. And at the same time, as their metabolism is going up, they have to feed more to fuel, we need fuel, right? And basically oxygen's part of that biological function, but then also we need food. Fish need food, we need food. As things heat up, there's a lot of things that we need to consider in addition to temperature when we're having a conversation about fish. This is especially important when we put our conservation hats on and we're thinking about wild fish that might be in these streams, when we're thinking about things that are happening on the landscape or in the watershed. Upstream of here, there's some farmland, and we'll talk about nutrient flows in a couple more episodes. We have to look at these ecosystems, these stream ecosystems, these watersheds more holistically, and the things that would ultimately trickle down to influence the way that those trout down there are interfacing with their environment, with the water, with increasing water temperatures, with lower dissolved oxygen, with lower flows. Those are all things we need to bundle together. And I'm bringing this to our attention, from, again, a basic like fish nerdy type thing. But there's also, a lot being splashed around on social media these days about, trout and water temperature. And, we should avoid fishing for them at a certain water temperature. And a lot of the insights that are being shared come from science that is just focusing on water temperature, not dissolved oxygen, and not, angling stress. We'll pick that up. There'll be other home water dispatches shortly. As I walk downstream, I'm gonna kind of weave all this stuff together. But for now, the take-home message that I want you to walk away with and think about is that we can't just look at water temperature alone. We have to think about how that is influencing dissolved oxygen concentrations. We have to think about fish as being ectotherms, right? And as water temperature goes up, their metabolism's going up. We have to think about what else is going on in this stream and upstream in terms of nutrient flows, that if there's other nutrients being deposited in the stream, that could also drive dissolved oxygen down. We've had, again, precipitation regimes change. We have to look at this stuff a little bit more holistically to be really informed advocates and activists for the fish that we love and for the way that fish play an important role in these ecosystems. So I'm gonna park that there and work my way downstream. And again, stay tuned, watch some more episodes of Home Water Dispatch on the Fish Forward YouTube channel, and we shall see you later.